Hello everybody, it's EzraTime again here and welcome to a movie review. And today I want to talk about the Batman movie. I just finished watching this movie today, obviously, because it's just coming out today in my country, Indonesian, and I think it's gonna come out in March 4, right, in the United States. So obviously this is gonna be a non-spoiler review, and yeah, I mean, let me just start from right away that I love this movie. It's a very different Batman movie. Because sometimes when you come into a Batman movie, you're probably expecting a lot of action, right? A lot of epic stuff, kind of like the Dark Knight trilogy. Even though there was a darker tone, but it was like a more like an epic scale, like adventure type of stuff. And there's some detective aspect in that movie or trilogy, but this one is more like a psychological thriller movie, which I think you guys already realized that, because Matt Reeves literally said that, right? This movie feels like David Fincher 7, right? There is some Zodiac element in there, obviously, with the Riddler, right? And then yeah, this feels like a David Fincher movie, and honestly, it's really. I'm not exactly comparing David Fincher to Matt Reeves here, but I'm just like I got the vibe from Seven, and I love it so much. And this is a very different Batman movie, and yeah, I guess I would say this though. The movie is all about the story and the mystery about what the hell is going on, and it's actually really exciting as you get to see the Batman and Gordon literally try to uncover the mystery by the Riddler. So let me start with Robert Pattinson Batman, obviously, because people expressed concern, obviously, when Robert Pattinson was cast, and me myself was like, oh, him, okay. But I seen The Lighthouse, I seen like other movie as well, like Tenet, I guess, because he also starred in that movie, and yeah, Robert Pattinson definitely got I really like Robert Pattinson for the past years, obviously, and because of that, I start to really optimistic for the Batman role. And honestly, after seeing this movie, he's great as the Batman. And I would say this though, his version of Bruce Wayne, not the Batman, but Bruce Wayne, is very different compared to the previous incarnation of Bruce Wayne, right? Because he's always like a billionaire playboy, like Kristen Bell kind of stuff, right? When he played that characters, but Robert Pattinson Bruce Wayne is very different. Like it's almost like the Batman and Bruce Wayne is not really a distinguished person. Like he's not even trying to hide the fact or like create this fake personality as Bruce Wayne, but it's just like yeah, I mean Bruce Wayne is just and the Batman is just I don't know the same in this movie. And that might turn some people off that maybe some people are expecting, oh, what is gonna be Robert Pattinson version of Bruce Wayne, and his Bruce Wayne is like, yeah, I mean, it's fine, it's good, right? It's serviceable. And because of in this movie, he was Batman for like 90% of the time. And again, that's a great thing because I like the bat suit. I like his acting as the Batman. He's really imposing and scary to the criminal, and that's why it is somewhat a horror movie, which is like Matt Reeves said that is the Batman movie. It's like a horror movie, which is yeah, it's a horror movie for the villains. Like the Batman is so scary in this movie, and especially the opening sequences with the score, the soundtrack, right? And then you got the bat single, obviously, in the sky. And the way they do that opening sequences with just like the bat single in the sky, and then you got several scenes about the crime in Gotham, and then the people in the criminal realize that oh, the bat single is on, and then they fucking terrified, and and it's just like they do this. Manfred does this like interesting shot with the opening sequences that you really feel the fear of the Batman, on that scene, on the opening credit. Sorry, the opening scene, and Michael Giacchino's score just completely, just add that fear even more. And I was like goosebump the entire time when in that opening sequences. I was like, damn, this is so cool, Um, and the other thing I like about this movie is Jim Gordon, right? He's not exactly Commissioner Gordon in this movie, but he was Lieutenant Gordon. So Lieutenant Gordon is usually he was just like he's a ally to Batman, obviously, but sometimes it was all just the Batman doing the job and detective work, and then Gordon just sit behind, and then the Batman just report back to him, and then just helping him, right? But in this movie, it's very different, and I really like it because I think Jeffrey Wright performance as Gordon is good. Like it's not there is no performance that makes me go like, wow, that's super great. But it was good. I like it. Like And Gordon and the Batman working together like a lot in this movie. It's not just the Batman himself and then just like report back to Gordon because that's how it usually goes, right? But it's all about the Batman and Jim Gordon working together as a team trying to solve this Riddler puzzle, and again, that's great. And speaking of the Riddler, played by Paul Dano, Paul Dano is amazing in this movie, and I see Paul Dano movie once and titled, I think, Prisoners, right, starring Hugh Jackman. I think it was directed by Denai Villeneuve. I think I might mispronounce. Sorry, but Prisoners, 2013 movie, and Paul Dano was in that movie, and it was his acting was great. So his acting here as the Riddler was actually really it's terrifying because he also have I think Matt Reeves also drew some inspiration from the Zodiac Killer, obviously. So he feels very real, and the way Paul Dano just played the Riddler was so like creepy and like you feel the suspense. Uh, whatever someone is trying to do like the Riddler thing, like solving the puzzle and all that kind of stuff. Like you feel the suspense, and again, great job to Matt Reeves for directing the scene, and then great job for Paul Dano for delivering the performance, and he has a really great moment in this movie, even though I would say that he's probably his presence in the beginning of the movie and I kind of missing for a second, but it's not exactly a bad thing because this movie has many villains and many characters, right? But once the Riddler in the screen, like you feel terrified, so great thing again by Paul Dano and Matt Reeves again. And the other one is Catwoman, obviously played by Zoe Kravitz. I would say he's a good Catwoman. I think Michelle Pfeiffer from Batman Return is still my favorite Catwoman, but this one is also good. I like it. It's not great, but it's good, and I like it a lot. And she and Batman is like, yeah, I mean, cool. They're cool, I guess. They probably need more chemistry together, but at the same time, it was okay. It wasn't bad. Okay, I want to clarify. It wasn't bad. It was good, but I guess that I kind of expecting more from the chemistry between the Batman and Catwoman, right? But it's still a good one, I guess. And the next one we got Colin Farrell as the Penguin, like Oswald Cobblepot, and man, he is so great in this movie, and like he is so funny. He's probably the most like the funniest character in the Batman because he has so many great lines. Because the Batman was like this movie was like really dark and really scary, psychological thriller, but the Penguin was like really funny. Like he's probably the source of the comedy. I don't exactly say that as a bad thing because again, when some funny moments happened in this movie, was like I was actually laughing or like chuckle, unlike the recent MCU movie where it's like yeah, there is a bunch of comedies and all that kind of stuff that kind of makes you laugh, but sometimes just like cringe and all that kind of stuff, right? But the Batman with the comedy, it delivers. There is a tiny bit of it, and again, Colin Farrell performance as a Penguin is amazing. He looks very different. He doesn't look like Colin Farrell at all, and that's great. That's great. Because I feel like it just add more to the Penguin characters, and I just really can't wait to see the Penguin HBO Max series. Because again, he's still like a low criminal, like a mid criminal life you go, or like mob, I guess, boss. And obviously he's gonna rise as the Penguin, as the leader of the mob, and I just really can't wait to see, Colin Farrell finally becomes the Penguin that we know and love from the Batman universe, and yeah, he's really great. And then who else we got? I guess that's all right. Well, I guess Alfred, played by Andy Serkis. I would say this Alfred doesn't get enough screen time in this movie, but it was really good and really effective. And I wish we see more of Alfred in the future movies because in this movie he's like really lacking in my opinion. But once he's there, he's really good. And of course the action sequences, right? Really well done. It's probably not as breathtaking like the warehouse scene from Batman versus Superman. That's still like the one of the best action sequences involving the Batman. But this movie does a really great job. I think the action sequences in here is, I would say, it's a bit better than the Dark Knight trilogy because the Dark Knight trilogy, that yes, he has some epic scale and all that kind of stuff, and but the hand-to-hand combat was terrible. Like it's not that good. In this one it's actually good and I really enjoy it a lot, because the camera just stays still and then you see the action, and Matt Reeves does this a lot in the Batman movie where he just like the camera stay and then focusing on the character, so you can focus on the actor or actress's performance, and obviously the fight scenes, and then there is one chase scene with the Batmobile and the Penguin. You see that in the trailer and TV spots and all that kind of stuff, and man, seeing that on theater was just amazing. Seeing the Batmobile was first introduced, like, oh, it's so cool, and obviously we gotta talk about the score by Michael Giacchino. Again, Michael Giacchino was a great composer. You might know him from the Incredibles movie, Jurassic World, Mission Impossible, and all that kind of stuff, and the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. And man, his Batman score was just amazing because in the past few decades, we got so many great Batman themes, right? By Danny Elfman, Hans Zimmer, and James Newton Howard. I forgot his last name. Sorry, but Hans Zimmer and James. I forgot the names. But again, the point is the score is great for the past couple of decades, so it's a tough job for Michael Giacchino, right? But man, Michael Giacchino in this movie, the soundtrack and the score really good. It really elevate the atmosphere. Again, like I said in the beginning, opening scene with the Batman, right? His score was like elevate that scene even more. It feels even more terrifying. And then his score add some punch to the action sequences and then to the more quiet moments in the movie, and it was really great. It was really great. So yeah, I guess this movie is just it's a really great Batman movie, honestly. Hang on. Sorry, I gotta drink first. But yeah, I think I really can't wait for the sequel, obviously. And oh, one more thing, in the end of this movie, I think there is no mid credit scene or post credit scene, so don't even bother waiting. But near the end of the movie, they tease one particular character that actually I think people already know what that character is once you saw it in the movie. Because once that particular character appeared in that movie, I was like, oh, is this like this character that's going to appear in the future? And then the character did something, and I was like, oh, I think that's definitely that particular character. Again, I'm not gonna spoil it, but you guys gonna see it near the end of the movie. It's not gonna be in mid credit scene or post credit scene, but near the end of the movie, before the credits, obviously, you see one character that actually looks wasn't looking, but I guess sound familiar, so I think we all already know who's gonna be that character in the future, and I can't wait for that. And yeah, I think that's it. My review for the Batman movie. Again, this is probably one of the best Batman movie that I ever saw. I don't know where I'm going to rank it yet. I'm just gonna have to wait some time to do that, obviously. But yeah, this is a great experience in theaters. Like my theater was full, and it's just like everybody was quiet and glued to the screen and just paying attention and all that kind of stuff. It's great, man. It's a great movie, and I highly recommend you guys to watch it once it's come out, obviously, and obviously don't get spoiled, right? Um, and yeah, I guess that's it for the Batman review, guys. And I really can't wait to see the sequel for this. And obviously you get the HBO Max series, right? The Penguin series, and then the Gotham Police series. I guess I'm looking forward for the Penguin series the most. And I heard that the Penguin series is gonna have like an R rating, so that's great, because the Penguin has this appearance as like he's I think he's smoke, right, in the comics, so it needs to be R rating if Colin Farrell wants to have like a smoke as a penguin, so there you go. But yeah, can't wait for the sequel, guys. I think there's gonna be two more Batman movie after this. I think there's gonna be a trilogy, right, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, and I can't wait for that. And yeah, have you guys seen the Batman movie? If you already seen it, then you guys can let me know in the comment section below. But please don't spoil anything because again, there's so many people that haven't watched the movie, and maybe if you in the future you already watched the movie and you can come back here and then tell your opinions about it if you want to. I don't know why you do it, but if you want to, just saying. Yeah, I think that's it for the review for the Batman movie, guys. And again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this review, guys. It's been really fun doing a movie review once in a while, and I love the Batman, so there you go. And yeah, I think that's it for this review, guys. Stay tuned for more videos, more reaction videos, obviously for Final Freddy's in the future, I guess. So stay tuned. And again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this movie review, guys. And again, don't forget to like, subscribe, comments, share the videos, usual stuff, right? And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video then. Bye.